If you're buying a property, you need to be aware of the overlooked third party in the relationship between you and the vendor and your solicitor. There is an overlooked third party, and that is assuming that you're borrowing money, you're lending, or you're borrowing from a bank or a lender. The third party in the relationship between you and your solicitor is the lender. Let me explain. Sometimes I would have a client who is looking at a particular property and are absolutely head over heels in mad with the property, and they come to me and I look at the title documents and I review title and I look at the planning documents and so on. I do what a solicitor is supposed to do, and in the course of my investigation of title and investigation of planning, I discover some problem or other. The problem could be minor or it could be relatively serious or significant. A serious or significant problem would be to do with, for example, planning, or an unauthorized development, or perhaps an attic conversion that was no planning permission and not carried out in accordance with the building regulations, or perhaps there's some problem with sewerage or with water, with services, or perhaps with the right of way. These are significant problems, and they are so significant that the solicitor must be concerned about getting good title for the lender. And the solicitor at the outset, remember, signs or undertakes, gives a solicitor's undertaking to the lender to obtain good title, good marketable title. That means that if the lender ever has to repossess the property and foreclose, that the lender will be able to sell the property without any difficulties with planning, or with title rather. Now, if the young couple, for example, come to me in the full flush of enthusiasm for a particular property, and they are told about some problem or other, and they are prepared to overlook it, and they are prepared to plough ahead, and they're prepared to take a chance, or perhaps go ahead and perhaps try to rectify the problem themselves in later years, or they might be prepared to put in some sort of a retention planning application, or they might be confident of doing a deal with a local farmer or something, local landowner or adjoining landowner, about access and so on. They may be confident about all these things. The fundamental point though is that the solicitor will be concerned about getting good title in accordance with the solicitor's undertaking, and you will not be getting good title if there's an issue about a right of way or access or sewerage or services or planning. In that situation, the bank, the lender, has to be on board, and sometimes the client doesn't understand why the solicitor would have to flag it up with the lender. Sometimes the client doesn't understand why the solicitor won't simply act on the instructions of the client, i.e. the purchaser. But it's not the case that a solicitor will act blindly to instructions. A solicitor must carry out certain professional duties. They have a duty of care, standard of care, and that involves investigating title and ensuring good marketable title is obtained for not just the client but for the lender as well. And that's where I say the bank, the lender, is sort of an overlooked third party in the relationship between solicitor and client, and it's easy for clients to get frustrated and really disappointed, I suppose, with perhaps the sale falling through. But the bottom line is the solicitor must be mindful not just of the client but also of his or her undertaking to the bank and getting good title. Anyway, hope you find this video useful. If you do, I'd appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below, and if this is your first time on the channel, you might consider subscribing. Thanks a lot.